The second model we covered in our last class is the Porter 5 forces model. This model tries to assess the competitive environment faced by the firm. According to Professor Michael Porter of Harvard Business School, competition is much more complicated than that. It is not about who is the biggest. In fact, it is about who is the most profitable. And the profitability of the industry as a whole is determined by the following forces. So this slide shows the original model of the Porter 5 forces. According to the model, it describes the competitive environment in terms of 5 competitive forces. First, the threat of new entrants. Then, the bargaining power of buyers. The bargaining power of suppliers. The threat of substitute products or services. And lastly, the intensity of rivalry among direct competitors in an industry. When students try to revise this model, try to think about this question. What company can do in order to reduce the threats by these competitive forces? For example, the threat of new entrants refers to the possibility of the emergence of new competitors. So the only way to deter new potential competitors coming into the industry is to set up high entry barriers. So when students apply this point into the workplace, ask themselves what company can do in order to put up high entry barriers against new entrants. As for the bargaining power of buyers, customers or buyers are most powerful when they have more choices or when they have very low switching cost. So again, ask yourself what the company can do in order to increase the switching cost of the customers so that they won't go to other direct competitors easily. And go through similar thinking with regarding the bargaining power of suppliers, the threat of substitutes, and also the intensity of rivalry in the model. Now please note that Michael Porter actually added a 6th force on top of the original Porter 5 forces model. They are complementers or complements. So these are companies or entities that sell or offer goods or services that are compatible with or complementary to your goods and service produced in a given industry. Now, complementary goods and services can add value to existing products. It can help companies to increase demand for the primary product, reach more customers, and thus having more chances to earn more profits. In the last hour of our class, we covered a case called Southwest Airlines. The case focused on one question. Can a company still able to earn superior profits under very harsh and hostile competitive environment? This is what the Porter 5 forces model looks like in the case. The case started with an introduction about a major political change in the US airline industry way back in the 1990s, and that was deregulation. Because of deregulation, the effective entry barrier against new entrants disappeared. So as a result, lots and lots of players are able to get into the market. With more suppliers available, the bargaining power of buyers become very high. Now they have more choices and the switching cost was low. Now the bargaining power of suppliers is still high because in the airline industry we only have 2 aircraft manufacturers. So according to the case, the industry actually went through a terrible price war. And this price war caused every single airline company to lose terribly in terms of profit. But only one company wins, and that is Southwest Airlines. So students know at the end of the case that the external environment alone actually cannot determine whether a company is successful or not. In fact, whether a company can create competitive advantage and try to sustain this advantage depends not on the external environment. It depends on the ability for these firms to leverage their internal capabilities and competencies in order to win. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you next class.